Jayson Tatum, a name that echoes in basketball arenas and in debates among fans and analysts alike. From the moment he entered the NBA, Tatum has been a player of intrigue. His talent was undeniable, but the way he's been perceived by the media has been anything but consistent. One day he's lauded as the face of the league, the heir to Kobe Bryant's Mamba mentality. The next, he's criticized for being passive or not having what it takes to lead his team to glory. But why? Why does the media struggle to pin down who Jayson Tatum truly is? Is it the fault of inflated expectations set too early? Or is it because Tatum's growth as a player doesn't fit into the neat, narrative-driven arcs the media loves to create? The nuances of his game and the subtle evolution of his style often escape the highlights and hot takes that dominate sports media. Tatum's story isn't just about basketball. It's about the weight of expectations and the way in which narratives shape perceptions. His journey reveals the challenges of balancing personal growth with public scrutiny, and how even the brightest stars can struggle to escape the shadow of preconceived notions. To understand why the media keeps getting Jayson Tatum wrong, we have to start at the very beginning. When Tatum was drafted 3rd overall by the Boston Celtics in 2017, the expectations were sky high. The Celtics were already a storied franchise, and Tatum was seen as the missing piece in their quest for another championship. From the start, Tatum showcased his poise and versatility, especially during Boston's unexpected run to the Eastern Conference Finals in his rookie year. Remember that dunk over LeBron in Game 7?
7 points with 6:45 remaining. Tatum drives down and throws it down. Wow!
Yeah, definitely a defining moment for a young player. A signal that he was ready for the big stage. Yet, even as he excelled, the media's perception began to skew. Rookie brilliance turned into a barometer for unrealistic expectations. If Tatum wasn't dominating like prime LeBron or Kobe in every game, headlines questioned his ability to live up to the hype. The weight of those expectations often overshadowed the natural ups and downs of a young player finding his footing in the league. In many ways, Tatum's early success became both a blessing and a curse. The comparison game was relentless. Every strong performance invited accolades, while every misstep was met with scrutiny. The media's binary framing of success and failure left little room for nuance. Tatum wasn't just a promising young player. He was a symbol of Boston's future, and anything less than perfection was seen as a disappointment. This dynamic set the stage for the media's complex relationship with Tatum, one that would persist throughout his career. As Tatum's game evolved, so did the expectations. But unlike other young stars, he was rarely afforded the grace of patience. For players like Luka Doncic or Ja Morant, growing pains were seen as part of the journey. For Tatum, every stumble was amplified, every shortcoming dissected. The media's narrative often ignored the bigger picture, that Tatum was still a young player, learning to navigate the pressures of superstardom. As Tatum matured, so did his game. His offensive arsenal expanded, footwork reminiscent of Kobe, a silky smooth jump shot, and an ability to score from all 3 levels. By the 2021-22 season, Tatum had become a bona fide superstar, leading the Celtics to an NBA Finals and finishing 6th in MVP voting. Yet even in this moment of triumph, the criticism didn't fade. Some analysts claimed he deferred too much to his teammates or lacked the killer instinct to take over games. This criticism is ironic when compared to other stars. Players like Kevin Durant have been praised for their efficiency and team-first mindset, but when Tatum plays a similar playstyle, he's labeled as passive. Advanced stats like usage rate and points created per possession paint a different picture, one of a player who balances scoring with making his teammates better. Let's take a look at this graph. What we're seeing here is player efficiency rating, or PER, over the past 3 seasons. PER is a per-minute rating that summarizes a player's overall efficiency. It takes into account everything from scoring and playmaking to defense and rebounding, and puts it all into one number. The league average PER is set at 15. So if you're above that, you're considered above average in terms of overall efficiency. Now check out where Jayson Tatum's at. His PER has consistently been around 23 over the past 3 seasons, way above league average. In fact, it's on par with some of the best players in the league. Compare that to a guy like Dame, whose PER goes below 20 in this graph. While Lillard is obviously a top scorer, this shows that Tatum's impact extends far beyond just putting up points. He's contributing efficiency on both ends of the floor, something the media tends to overlook. What's really striking here is how Tatum's PER compares to other top players in the league like Giannis and Durant. It's clear that Tatum's efficiency is on a level that's often overlooked because of the focus on high volume scoring. But when we zoom out and look at the complete picture, Tatum's efficiency is elite. he's not just scoring a ton, he's scoring with purpose. This is where the media gets it wrong. They focus on the flashy plays and the high-scoring nights, but they don't always recognize the quiet consistency and efficiency that makes Tatum one of the most well-rounded stars in the game. Tatum's defensive impact also deserves recognition. In an era where offense often overshadows defense, Tatum has emerged as one of the league's most versatile two-way players. His ability to guard multiple positions and make crucial stops in high-pressure situations is a testament to his all-around game. But this aspect of his play is often overlooked, as the media fixates on offensive highlights and clutch moments. Another dimension of Tatum's growth is his leadership. As a young star on a historic franchise, he's had to learn how to navigate the challenges of being a leader both on and off the court. His willingness to take accountability and his commitment to improving year after year reflect a maturity beyond his years. Yet, these qualities rarely make headlines, often overshadowed by the latest hot takes and debates. The media's obsession with narratives often clouds the reality of a player's contributions. For Tatum, his connection to Kobe Bryant has become both a blessing and a curse. While Tatum himself has never shied away from honoring Kobe's legacy, the media often uses this connection as a measuring stick, creating impossible standards. Take the 2023 playoffs, for example. After a historic 51-point performance in Game 7 against the Philadelphia 76ers, Tatum was heralded the ultimate competitor, but just weeks later, after a disappointing loss in the Eastern Conference Finals, the narrative flipped again. Headlines questioned his ability to perform under pressure, ignoring the context of injuries and the collective performance of the team. Compare this to players like Giannis, who face similar playoff struggles. While Giannis is often praised for his resilience, Tatum's setbacks are framed as flaws in his character. It's a prime example of how the media's framing can distort public perception. This inconsistency reveals a broader issue with how the media evaluates players, focusing more on storytelling than substance. Much of the criticism Tatum faces stems from a misunderstanding of his game. He's not a player who dominates with sheer athleticism or brute force. Instead, his game is cerebral, methodical, and often understated. This nuance is lost in an era where highlight reels and viral moments dominate this conversation. Consider his playmaking, an area where Tatum has made a significant stride. In the 2023-24 season, his assists per game reached a career high, showing his commitment to involving his teammates. Yet, these improvements are rarely highlighted. Instead, analysis focus on isolated moments where he's failed to take over in crunch time, ignoring the broader context of his contributions. Tatum's ability to adapt his game to the needs of his team is another overlooked strength. Whether it's stepping up as a primary scorer or facilitating for his teammates, he's consistently found ways to impact games. This versatility is a hallmark of greatness, yet it's often overshadowed by narratives that prioritize individuals' heroics over team success. The media's fixation on singular moments often failed to capture the full scope of Tatum's contributions. Adding on to that, Tatum's calm demeanor is frequently misinterpreted as a lack of passion. In reality, his composure under pressure is one of his greatest assets. While some players thrive on outward displays of emotion, Tatum's quiet confidence allows him to stay focused and deliver in critical moments. This difference in style should be celebrated, not criticized, as it highlights the diversity of approaches that make basketball such a dynamic sport. In 2024, Tatum finally silenced many of his critics by leading the Celtics to an NBA championship. His finals performance was nothing short of spectacular, averaging 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. More importantly, he delivered in moments that mattered most, including a clutch Game 6 performance that secured Boston's 18th title. Yet, even in victory, some doubted his place among the all-time greats. The narrative shifted to whether his supporting cast deserved more credit or if the Celtics defense was the real MVP. It's a stark contrast to how other stars like Steph Curry or Kawhi Leonard have been celebrated for their championship runs. This discrepancy highlights the persistent challenges Tatum faces in gaining the recognition he deserves. The championship also marked a turning point in Tatum's career. No longer burdened by the label of potential, he established himself as one of the league's elites. Yet, the media's tendency to focus on his perceived shortcomings instead of his achievements continue to shape public perception. The 2024 championship was not just a testament to Tatum's talent, but also a reminder of the resilience required to overcome the years of scrutiny and doubt. The 2024 championship was more than just a personal milestone for Jayson Tatum. It was a redefining moment in how he would be remembered. Winning a title placed him in a different stratosphere, but it didn't mean the criticism disappeared. Instead, they evolved. Now the debate centers around his potential to lead the Celtics to multiple championships, to cement a dynasty. or to carry on the legacy of greats like Larry Bird and Paul Pierce. For Tatum, his legacy is not just about the accolades, but also about the impact he leaves on the game itself. His ability to blend the skills of a modern NBA superstar with the work ethic and mentality of the old guard make him a bridge between eras. Players coming up in the league look at Tatum as an example of how to handle the pressure of expectations while staying true to their game. Yet the media often glosses over the quieter parts of his legacy, the countless hours in the gym, his role as a mentor to younger teammates, and his effort in the Boston community. These parts of his story don't generate the same headlines as a buzzer beater or a highlight dunk, but they are just as important in understanding who Jayson Tatum is as a person and a player. So why does the media keep getting Jayson Tatum wrong? The answer lies in the nature of media itself. In an age of hot takes and instant reactions, depth often takes a backseat to sensationalism. Tatum's game, which thrives on precision and consistency, doesn't always fit the flashy, narrative-driven mold the media prefers. This isn't to say that Tatum is above criticism. No player is perfect, and he's had his share of off nights and missed opportunities. But the media's tendency to swing between extremes, either overhyping his successes or overstating his failures, creates a distorted view of his career. This framing fails to capture the reality of Tatum's journey, a player who has steadily grown and adapted, and overcome challenges to reach the pinnacle of the sport. For fans, the key is to look beyond the noise and appreciate the totality of Tatum's contributions. He may not always deliver the viral moments that dominate social media, but his impact on the court is undeniable. Whether it's his scoring, his playmaking, or his leadership, Tatum continues to prove why he's one of the most complete players in the NBA today. As Jayson Tatum enters the next phase of his career, the question isn't whether he can live up to the media's expectations, it's whether the media can finally catch up to him. The league is evolving, and so is Tatum. His game is already one of the most versatile in the NBA, but there's no doubt he's adding layers to his skill set. With the Celtics poised to remain contenders for years to come, Tatum has the opportunity to build a legacy that transcends the fleeting narratives of sports media. Multiple championships, MVP caliber seasons, and a reputation as one of the game's greatest leaders are all within his grasp. But perhaps what makes Tatum's journey most compelling is that he's doing it his way, unapologetically, and without conforming to the expectations of others. Ultimately, Tatum's story is a reminder that greatness doesn't always come in the form of instant gratification. Sometimes it's about the slow, steady climb, the quiet moments of growth, and the resilience to keep pushing forward. And maybe, the media will one day just get it right. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all next time.